For those who don't know, Jeezy, Jizzle, he did this thing called Tiny Desk. If you don't know what Tiny Desk is, you should probably leave this and go look it up. But we know Tiny Desk has taken the world by storm, especially after all the stuff they did last year. And they were already popular before that. And my co-host loves Tiny Desk. And so we watch Tiny Desk, especially when it's an artist that we love in the culture or that we're fans of. And so we watched Jeezy separately and haven't spoken since. And I am excited to see, first, what do you think about Jeezy's Tiny Desk, co-host?
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. So I like vibey hip hop.
Okay.
I like to hear the string instruments
Yes.
behind behind the lyrics. I love to kind of slowly let that slow climb to the hook. I love all of that. I love music that I don't know what that's called, but I love when music kind of builds up a momentum. It's kind of slow and it's soft, and again, you're hearing the strings and you hear the bass, you hear the violin. I'm I'm a Rick Ross fan. I think that's probably the easiest way to describe how I
Absolutely.
like my hip hop.
Right.
so,
Justice League. Justice League.
yeah. So I enjoyed this because I felt like it was Jeezy, and I love Jeezy, but also I loved the fact that he had the band with him. He had the string instruments going. I love that, and I thought it was a nice take on some of his music.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, and I was really excited when I saw that Jeezy was going to be on because, again, I mean, my college years realized. So why not? I feel like, certain artists always make you feel a little nostalgic, and I feel like Jeezy is one of those for me. So, you know,
Got you. Continue.
I mean,
Or were you done?
I was done.
Oh, sorry. Just fixing the setting here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. I too loved that the band was there killing it.
Uh-huh.
I too loved that we got to hear this nostalgic music from Jeezy.
Mm-hmm.
I even loved his book being in the background. I
I
don't know
didn't
if
even
you
peep the
peeped
book.
that.
I did not peep the book in the background.
His now number one best-selling book was like right behind him on a shelf.
He
They
did
made sure
mention.
to Yep, and they made sure to zoom to keep it in view quite a few times. And I love the marketing, the branding of all the bandmates wearing the snowman on
Oh
their
man,
shirts.
yes, I love that
All of
too.
that was dope, and the band was killing it.
They were killing it.
I
Yeah.
will say it again, Dr. Umar style. The band was killing it.
Can I ask you a question before you continue? Why
Yes,
why does this feel like you're leading with love?
because I'm leading with love.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm telling you the things I liked
No, I
before
know
I
you're
tell
telling
you
me
the
things.
things I did not like.
I could tell that it's coming. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but
We'll see. If
no.
you knew the negative was coming, put it in the comments. Special shout outs to our favorite commenters, White Chris and Julio.
Yes. They
I'm
they
sure they will let us know if they could smell it coming.
they're keeping us afloat.
You know
Two
what
of
I'm saying? So yeah, let us know if you saw my negative comments just around the river bend, as Pocahontas would say.
because I saw it.
Hey, someone who I'm a huge fan of said their therapist taught them that you lead with love. And so occasionally I like to borrow that.
I heard that.
Occasionally.
I won't say who that person is, but I also know who that person is. And whenever I've heard that person talk about their therapist, I'm a little concerned.
they also pick and choose when they follow that. And
Exactly.
I was
That's
about to say the same thing. I was about to say that's why I said I sometimes borrow it, because other times I am happy to lead with my hateration, as Mary J. Blige once said.
and don't forget the holleration.
And don't forget the holleration, because I'm a loud mother. Shut your mouth.
So let us know what happened in the dancery for you that
I was
wasn't.
waiting for Jeezy to show up the whole time. I'm like, but where's Jeezy? Where's Jeezy and his big personality? Where's Jeezy and the flavorful vocals? Where's Jeezy? I kept wait. I just knew it was coming. I say, all right, he's warming up. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. It's gonna come. We're gonna see at some point the big bold Jeezy, and it never came. This was like a poetry reading. We never saw the flavor of the Usher Tiny Desk, for example. This was very little personality from Jeezy. This was very little charisma and emphasis from Jeezy. This performance was like, I'm only here so I don't get fined.
I didn't get that vibe.
And I'm glad we disagree. When I was watching it, I said, man, I hope that one of us loves this, because I don't. I was very disappointed with this performance because it didn't feel like a performance. Also, why don't you know any of your words? Did you not rehearse? I'm confused. First of all you gave us was stuff from like your first album. Okay, fine. That's weird, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, cool. Most of the songs were very, very early Jeezy songs. That's weird. I don't know why you ain't hit him with the greatest hits. You got tons of hits. But if that's what you choose to do, hey, that is your right as an American citizen. That is your right as an artist. No problem.
I
Weird.
wanted Soul Survivor.
He didn't do a lot of the shit. I kept waiting. I was like, oh man. And it seemed like, maybe it's me, but it seemed like just when he got going, he said, thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate y'all having me here. And I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Well,
Is
Tiny
this
Desk is
is
only supposed
this
to be a handful of songs.
I know, but I'm saying when it finally felt like Jeezy's warming up, we about to get all the things I'm complaining about, the motherfucker said, hey, thanks for having me, y'all. This was real special. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't special. You kept trying to get the crowd to sing your songs. This is not a sold out arena. This is Tiny Desk.
And you know how I feel about that.
I know. That's what I was waiting for you to come up here and say. I said, man,
I let
she's
him
gonna
slide.
roast him when it comes, because I know you don't like that. But that's what he kept doing. He kept trying to do the crowd participation thing, and it wasn't really working.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I read a comment in the YouTube comments that said for Tiny Desk they need to get people who are more connected to the artist, like people who are
Sure,
bigger fans. But
I
I
can I
don't
can
think
agree with that.
sure, but I don't think people understand how Tiny Desk works.
No,
It's
I don't
not.
think so either.
It's not something that's open to any and everybody.
Nah, it's supposed to be
Um,
NPR staff.
it's NPR staff, and it sounds from what he was saying, it sounded like there were also Howard University students
Yes.
there, but also Jeezy probably sounds a lot different to the Howard University students of today than he did to the Howard University
Yes, he kept
students
saying the one lady
of
was the only person really giving him the energy.
right.
Again, this is not your sold out Atlanta arena. This is Tiny Desk.
No. So I don't. I think as far as the audience goes, I think I think you got to give him a little. I mean, the audience participation thing is always annoying to me, and I feel like okay, do it once and move on. Please don't make your whole show that.
And he
But
did.
but what I will say is that in terms of knocking the audience and saying that it wasn't the right audience for him, I think that's a moot point when you're talking about
Tiny
NPR Tiny
Desk.
Desk because it just that's not the way this
Yeah, it's not what they
particular
do.
thing.
They're not raffling
Yeah,
off tickets to the
no,
fans. It's their staff, and it's a treat for their staff.
right. And you can always tell when their staff is like really excited about somebody.
Right.
They do sing along. You
Yep.
can hear them in the background. But there's also been performances where you don't even realize that they're there.
And many.
So this one was kind of awkward because I feel like he was trying to involve them, and I think maybe it would have been better if he just kind of left them out of it. If they wanted to sing along or whatever to the songs they knew, they could have. But I think trying to involve that type of group can backfire on you, and I think it did a little bit backfire on.
I think it did a lot.
Yeah.
I think this performance was really weird. It was low energy, and it seemed like he didn't rehearse because it seemed like he didn't know most of the words.
I thought it was low and see the way I took it was that it was low energy on purpose. Like he
Okay,
wasn't really trying to turn up. He was trying to
okay,
keep it mellow.
okay.
I,
And to me, that's a bad thing.
and that's fine. I'm just
You're saying it seemed intentional. I got you. I'm not. I don't disagree. To me, that was part of the problem. You gave us old songs, super old. You didn't give us the hits. You didn't have energy. You didn't know your words, and you kept trying to rely on the audience. Not, I did not like this. I was really disappointed, and I was really excited to watch this performance. I usually am not excited about Tiny Desk, and I'm gonna say something even crazier. Clip this up because as much as the internet loved Juvenile's Tiny Desk,
I,
I thought that shit was trash.
I
And
know.
I think it was better than this one. At least we got Juvenile excited and smiling and energetic. And sure, he did back that ass up technically 2.5 times. But at least he enjoyed himself and had an excitement to him and an energy to him. This was like, I'm just going to go to a poetry reading and read some poems that the crowd may or may not know while I pat myself on the back and ask you to buy my new book.
So you prefer girl you're working with some ass, yes, some ass, yes.
Yeah. I preferred that 2.5 times instead of Jeezy saying, let's do the hook again. And he don't even say the hook. No, I didn't like that. Let's do the hook one more time. I feel like that was actually, he didn't say I didn't like it. He said, I did like that. Yeah, I like that. Let's do the hook one more time. And nobody's doing the hook. So what are we running back the hook for? Just to hear it? Then Jeezy, you could have just left and we could have just saw the band play all your greatest hits with their snowman shirts. That probably would have been way more entertaining than this. I am very disappointed. I know I probably sound angry, but I'm really sad because I really thought Jeezy was gonna go up there and kill it. Jeezy has a truckload of hits. Jeezy has a lot of different sounds. He has a wide range. There's some artists who have a very specific sound. You know that's what you're gonna get most of when they do a performance. Jeezy has a wide range of sounds, a long list of hits, and he could have done a lot of things. I am very disappointed because not only did we not get the hits, we didn't get the energy, we didn't get the words.
I mean, those are not the songs that I expected him to do. I just wasn't mad at it. I was just kind of like, okay, vibes. And I like the vibes. But I do
Got
understand what you're saying. Yes, his energy was a lot lower than it normally is.
you. Even when he said, Jeezy, can I get an ad lib? He didn't even do, yeah.
Which is like, the
That's
signature.
his signature thing.
Yeah, it is.
He didn't even do that. He said, Jeezy, can I get an ad lib? And looked at the crowd.
Well, I think expecting more from the crowd was a misstep. And I think maybe that might not be the whole thing, but maybe that impacted the performance overall because and maybe in his mind he was thinking, okay, this is going to be a small intimate group and I can engage them cuz you probably feel more inclined to engage a smaller group than you do like a big stadium because they're you can barely see the people out there. It's just like a sea of people. Whereas when it's a smaller group, you can look at them in the face and you can see who's engaging and see who's interacting with your music. And maybe it was a missed assumption that people would be more into what he was doing. Also, if you're gonna do the crowd participation thing, which I hate, but if you're gonna do the crowd participation thing, then you probably should do your more common hit.
Hello.
You should
Right.
probably do the songs that people are gonna sing along to or rap along to. Um, yeah. So I can understand what you're saying. I guess for me, I like to see artists kind of step out of their element a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. And I felt like he was kind of doing that with this. So for me it was okay, and I liked seeing him perform in that way and more intimate venue. And like I said, I loved hearing the strings right there in the room with him and having the band and all of that. But I do understand why you think it was a subpar performance, and you make some valid points.
Thank you.
Um,
I try not to just be a hater.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. And again, the crowd participation thing, I didn't bring it up because I was just like, okay. I tried to ignore it.
I couldn't ignore it.
But but yes, that is a pet peeve for me. I just feel like I didn't come here to give you a concert.
Right.
I'm here for you to give me one.
Right.
So yeah. But I'm sorry you didn't have a better experience.
Me too. I was like, man, I could have watched something else while I ate my lovely meal.
Yeah.
You know, I went and got a lovely meal in preparation for this. I said, oh, I'm going to get me a nice meal from my local diner and sit here and really enjoy Jeezy. And I feel like, man, I could have watched something else. I should have put Emergency Awesome on or something. I don't know.
And old episode of Hardly Minding My Business. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could have watched some Hardly. You know what I mean? And heard the latest about the Shameless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.